All right, what's going on, y'all? Today I just wanted to do a really quick video. Last Saturday, everybody was present for Canelo Chavez Jr. Even Andre Ward came out. That's what I wanted to talk about. He made an appearance between fights with Jim Lampley and just talked about the first Kovalev fight, what both fighters are looking to do, the knockdown in the second round. One of the interesting things that was brought up by Jim was that he stated that this fight, the rematch, is an ideal stepping stone towards being pound for pound for Andre Ward. So, quickly Andre Ward, corrected him. He said, actually it was supposed to be the first fight. That was supposed to be that fight because, the billing was pound for pound. But, of course, after the outcome, a lot of the writers, they wanted to change that, after the way the decision went. And I just have to say that I agree with Andre Ward. When I commend him for putting in the words that he did and the way that he caught it real quick, because it was just kind of like, how Jim Lampley does sometimes. He just kind of slid that in there real smooth just to think that Ward was just going to say, oh yeah, after I win this fight, yeah, I'll be number one. That was all supposed to be decided off the first fight. That first fight was supposed to be the one to decide that. And to me, no matter the outcome, whether it was one-sided or a rough and tough competitive fight, the winner deserves his due. It went with the latter. It was a rough, competitive fight where Ward had to dig deep to pull it out. Any pound-for-pound fight is going to be that way. It's not going to be easy. Let's say you have two chess players are climbing the ladder on opposite sides of the ranks, and, they're just taking out all their competition leading up to it, leading up to the top. And once they both meet, if they're both as good and it's proven if they, said to be, it's going to be a battle of skill. One guy isn't going to let the other guy just take him out. If the other guy respects his skill, they're going to have to really battle it out over. It's going to become more of a mental battle. One guy is going to have to adjust to what the other guy's bringing. And to me, that's why bouts between really good boxers, the majority of the times, are decision wins. You look at Roy Jones, Bernard Hopkins when they first fought for their first title. They fought for the IBF title on a Riddick Bowe undercard. It was more respect and waiting. One guy trying to get off first, or one guy waiting for the other to see what the other guy does. And it just came down to who would outmatch the other with their skill, which it came down to Roy at the time. And then once you look at as recently as like Mayweather-Pacquiao, a lot of fans thought Pacquiao would just blow Floyd out the water, with that rapid, ferocious style that he uses. But even Manny getting into the ring knew how good Floyd was or is, and respect came early. So it came down to who could think quicker, not just punch fast. Of course, Ward-Kovalev, it was a lot closer, and it came down to who could stay in it longer and who could keep up their pace. So the first fight was close for a reason. Kovalev, he couldn't dominate with his power, what he's known to do. Of course, he has boxing skill, but most of the time when guys taste that power, it automatically puts him on the back foot. But it couldn't do that in this fight. And Ward, he couldn't outbox him for 12 rounds because, again, he was just moving up in weight to fight a bigger, stronger guy. So he couldn't just dominate the way he's known to. And that's what happens when two fighters are that good. It's going to come down to their mental. One guy's not going to let the other guy just take over. So it's going to be more of a battle of confidence of who or what he has, what he makes his opponent thinks he has, and what's he going to do to control this fight. But anyways, I talked about the first fight before, so back to the pound for pound talk. Yeah, the last fight determined the top guy, pound for pound, whether fans agree with the decision or not. I don't really think it is fair for people to try to take away now. You're not pound for pound the best just because the fight was close. After that fight was billed pound for pound, I don't think that's fair to him, because here you take on, the guy that HBO and all the fans built up to be, the boogeyman and one of the hardest punchers. Ward takes him on and beats him, but he doesn't beat him in the fashion that, you expected, or he doesn't lose to Kovalev in the fashion that you wanted. Now that you want to say, oh, let's write this fight off and not consider it a pound for pound fight. And now the second fight is going to be considered pound for pound, because that's how I think Jim Lampley was kind of seeing it himself, like, okay, now we have to start over. So, that's the problem with a lot of fans, fighters, it kind of puts fighters in a lose-lose situation. If it was an easy win for Ward, I think a lot of people would be saying something to take away from it. They would just say, Kovalev was one-dimensional. But, now that the fight was a hard-earned win for Ward, he had to dig deep and win all those later rounds. They don't want to give him the top spot. But yeah, I think that this second fight, it's going to be another good fight. And again, not one fight, no one fighter is going to dominate the other, because again, it's going to come down to two highly skilled fighters, and it's going to come down to what they learned from the first fight and what they can use to their advantage. So this fight here, just like Ward said too, it's just going to solidify the spot even more, because like I said, the first fight to me, was billed as pound for pound. And, that's what the winner deserved. I don't care if people said it was a robbery or not. I mean, it was far from a robbery. We did, I've already, clarified on that before. So I just have to say that, yeah, the second fight is going to be another good fight. And as we get closer to it, I'm going to just keep doing little updates on it. So I'll see you guys later.